Our sneaker fam, Senior here, back with another video. Happy 1st of February. Hope you guys are having a great first month or had a great first month of the year. And to finish off the collection series of videos, we're doing my top 5. Man, I could probably really make this a top 10, but I don't really want to. And it was hard enough to get it whittled down to 5. And then these aren't going to be in any particular order. However, I am going to put my 2 favorite sneakers as the last 2. So for the first 3, there's no real order per se. But before we get into the actual 5 favorite sneakers, you can see them here, but we'll guess in some sort of order, but not technically in an order 5 through 1. But before we get to that, if you guys are here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that bell so you can get a notification every time I do drop a new video, and make sure you hit that thumbs up, help push this video out to more and more people. As of the day of this recording, we are at 603 subscribers, so that's amazing to be up over 600 already so far this year. I'm super excited, and I'm loving seeing the sneaker family continue to grow, and all of the comments, supports, even questions on some of my videos, and hope I can answer some of those. There were a couple questions about the metallic 5s. Trying to answer them to the best of my abilities, just because I am not like a industry insider. I don't have any numbers as far as stock right now, so I'm hoping that we can all get the 5s that want the 5s coming up next Saturday, but who knows? You know, fingers crossed that we can get some JD access and go do a mall vlog pickup for you guys on Saturday. So that'll be fire, and I hope that that's how it works out. But all that being said, let's get into these shoes and why I've picked these as my top 5 sneakers in my collection. Our sneaker fam, so I guess if we have to call it number 5 is the Jordan 5 Low Chinese New Year's from a couple years ago. I actually don't even remember what year this was. I wonder if I can check the production date real quick on the shoe. 2020. So was this the 2021 Chinese New Year? Most likely, I would imagine. I don't remember. I did take these back to my local JD Sports. Well, I went back. I purchased another shoe. I don't remember if it was a Jordan 1 Low or a Dunk. And I took them back and I bought these. The retail price for these was fairly steep for a 5, but doing some more research into the shoe, I found out how you could customize it. And the reason why I picked it is I customized this shoe myself. I did make a video on it. It's not the greatest video. I was trying some different things as far as using the GoPro at the same time, kind of first person view, but you know, I just love how this shoe turned out. I tried to make them as similar as possible, so I think I feel like I did a pretty good job. You know, this was definitely a fun project, definitely stressful for sure. I definitely did not want to mess the shoe up knowing that I wouldn't be able to go, because by the time I got to customizing it, you couldn't go get this shoe at a store. Because I was so stressed, it took me a long time to get to it. But man, I get questioned every time I wear this shoe, and I love how these turned out, man. I really did. Again, I am not a customizer, so taking, you know, the chance, taking the risk of customizing this, I think really paid off, because this is a great shoe. And for lack of a better term, number 5 in my collection are my Jordan 5 Low Chinese New Year's. Our sneaker fam, so another one in the collection, if you want to call it number 4. Number 4 in the collection is the Jordan 1 Low Chicago Lost and Found. Now, the reason why this shoe is number 4, or why it's in the top 5 at all, so just how difficult this shoe was for me to actually get my hands on. You know, I'm really surprised that it was that difficult, I guess, to a certain extent. you know, by the time, I've told this story before, but by the time I got access or could get into JD Sports, because I did get access, the biggest size I could get was 9.5. So I figured better to grab a 9.5 than nothing. And then, you know, the whole story with the sneakers app glitching and completely logging people out and messing everything up, you know, I pretty much struck out everywhere I went. Every time I tried to pick this shoe up for retail, I did go to Soul Status, and when I asked about a size swap, the price tag on top of the shoes that they wanted was way too astronomical. I, you know, was not going to pay that kind of price, but my dudes over at Citywide Soles, they hooked me up for a pretty reasonable price on top, because there was a price difference between my 9.5 that I had in hand and my size 12. Obviously, now being a size 12 is one of the biggest money sizes that you can get your hands on for most hyped or sought after sneakers. So, you know, had to pay a little bit of extra, but definitely not nearly as much as Soul Status wanted, because they were straight taxing. So I don't mind trying to pay I guess looking at it, paying the difference between the two sizes in resale, just because I understand they have a business, but the amount of money Soul Status wanted on top was just way too much. But, you know, it's in the collection now, and it's in the top 5, again, just because of how difficult this shoe was to actually get my hands on. And this was definitely a must. If you're a sneakerhead, having some form of Jordan 1 Chicago is definitely a must to have in your collection. So the Jordan 1 Lost and Founds, Chicago Lost and Founds, whatever you call them, they're in the collection and in the top 5. All right, and another one, speaking of difficult to get your hands on, this shoe was nearly impossible for me. I hope that it wasn't as difficult for you guys to get this shoe if you wanted it, but going into, again, I don't remember if this was 2020 or 2021, but whichever, I think it was 2021. Going into 2021, this was a must. I saw that they were releasing the Raging Bull 5s, and I was like, dude, I need these. I actually knew at the time somebody that had a plug, and they were like, I was like, hey, do you think you can get your guy to get their hands on a size 12? He said for sure he'll let me know numbers, and they wanted, I want to say it was like $600 or $700 early, because I just wanted to have my pair. So I passed on that. I didn't have that kind of money. Definitely didn't see myself spending that kind of money on the shoe when I could get it for retail. I thought it would be a little bit easier to get my hands on, but legitimately everywhere I went, not just me, right? When I know that I need a shoe, I have wifey go for the shoe. I had the 2 boys, Jay and Weldon. I had them, people that I know, I had them help me out and go for shoes, and we were legitimately striking out everywhere. It was super disappointing. Like I said, I had to have the shoe. I love this shoe. This shoe is so amazing to begin with, and you know, obviously it's in the collection, and it's in the collection because Jay, we were at a track meet with Weldon and Garen, I believe, and he called me up and he started screaming on the phone, I got you, I got you, I got you. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? He's like, I just hit on the Raging Bull 5s. I'm not quite sure. I think it was Finish Line where he ended up getting a W from somehow. But man, I'm so glad that he did, because I love the shoe. I've worn the shoe quite a bit. It doesn't really look like it. Obviously, it looks like it on this pair, which is weird because that's the left shoe, and the right shoe doesn't look like it's nearly as worn. But this is an amazing shoe, and the story, again, is behind it is just that much more amazing. And when we get to the end, we'll talk about some of those things. But this shoe, I love. It's great, and the fact that my son hit for me and is willing to go and do those kinds of things for me is just amazing. And if you have homies, you know, we're talking about this. You know, I've hooked up my dude Trey. I've gone for shoes for Andy. I've gone for shoes for Alex. You know, any of my close friends that I know personally, they need help with shoes, I am more than happy, as long as I'm not going for it too. But like the Travis Scotts, I hit for Andy, which is crazy because now he hit on sneakers. for the Travis Scott Field Jacks. So now that pair that I've got that's coming for Andy, I'm turning around and selling them to Alex. So all things work out, man. I took an L for Alex on sneakers, and Alex took an L. So it just worked out great. So all three of us all now have shoes. But yeah, my sons want shoes. I'll be more than happy to help them out. So that's what sneakers are all about, helping each other out, grabbing shoes that we want or you want. And if you don't want them, I'm more than happy to help some friends out. So great story. I'm glad that Junior or Jay picked these up for me, and man, I love these, and I need to rock them again. It was too rainy this weekend or this week to wear them, but these are definitely going on feet again soon. So Raging Bull 5s in the collection, boys. All right, and into the top two. I really can't even say the top two because I really feel like this is 1A and 1B, just because we're going to talk about it. Because I really feel like if it wasn't for this shoe, this channel probably wouldn't exist. This is the shoe that started off the collection right here, the 2018 Yeezy 500 V2 Zebra that I just randomly, we weren't even at the store looking for shoes. I wasn't into shoes. My sons talked about Yeezys. They talked about Ultra Boost. And I honestly, man, I did not know what any of that stuff was. But they were talking about Yeezys, and I was kind of starting to understand what Yeezys looked like. We went to Franklin Park Mall into what is now JD Sports finish line, where you guys see me pick up tons of shoes, and these were just sitting. November of 2018, this shoe was sitting in a finish line. So I took the flyer. This was one of two size 12s that they had left. Wifey said if I wanted to make this my Christmas present, I could. So I grabbed, and that's what we were there for, looking for Christmas presents for the kids, and grabbed this for my first Christmas present, first sneaker Christmas present, and this shoe kicked it all off. And I love this shoe. This shoe is never going anywhere. If this shoe falls apart, if this boost crumbles, this shoe will be put in a display case, and I'll find some place that I can put it in the sneaker room. And this is an amazing shoe. I've worn this shoe a lot. Hasn't been on foot recently, but definitely gonna have to get got to get back to. I know that Yeezys are not like the thing now anymore, right? But to me, for the last Casual Friday, I wore my 500 Utility Blacks, and I still love Yeezys. I know, again, like most people, the Yeezy days in 2024 and 2023 really weren't that big to people, but to me, Yeezys are still important, and this shoe is the reason why, right? This shoe started off the collection, so Yeezys to me will always be important. I don't know how many more like I'll try and get for go back and get after the fact, maybe some turtle doves or something, but Yeezys will always have an important part and an important place in my heart and in my sneaker collection, and this is the reason why. The Yeezy 350 V2 Zebra started it all off. And now, let's see what my favorite sneaker is. If you guys know me, you should know, but let's get to that. All right, you guys, so the shoe in reality that really kicked off my love of sneakers is this shoe right here, the Jordan 4 Fire Red. This was the first Jordan I ever had growing up in 7th grade. This shoe meant everything to me. I wasn't big, I didn't really understand like Jordan 1s or 2s, but I saw the Jordan 4 and I knew that I had to have the shoe, and it was something that at the time we didn't have a whole lot of money for, but luckily my parents bought it for me, and I fell in love with the shoe. It was something that meant a lot to me. And when I heard the rumors that these were coming out, obviously knowing that history, it was something that I had to have. And I was actually doing laundry. I've told the story a couple times, but I was doing laundry. Luckily, I paid for the J23 app, because shout outs to the J23 app, because they gave me a heads up that there was a shock drop of the fire red 4s. I got in and I grabbed my pair. And when I did, I went running out into the living room. We were living at a different house at the time. And I was yelling, I got him, I got him, I got him. And my wife looked at me like I was crazy and I started crying. So she calls these my crying shoes because, you know, just the nostalgia, man, of remembering wanting this shoe so bad as a 7th grader, seeing all of the, I don't want to even say seeing all of the cool kids, just seeing the shoe and knowing that it was something that I liked, something that I wanted, and finally was able to have and feel like I was on top of the world wearing this shoe meant so much that, you know, I could get a shock drop and was able to get a pair early. So this shoe means a lot to me, and this shoe, again, you know, just like the Yeezys, no matter what the shape of this shoe ends up being in, will never leave the collection. I don't care if it's crumbling, I don't care if the sole falls off. This shoe will always stay in the collection. Have worn this thing a couple times, wore it with special occasion with wifey, and worn it a couple other times. Usually try and save it for some sort of special occasion, but I do know that you need to wear these in order to keep some of this foam from cracking and crumbling. So I do throw these on from time to time, and yeah, man, this shoe, like I said, just means a lot. And this is one of the reasons why I'm into shoes. As you can see, all of these shoes have some sort of story, right? You know, and it's not just shoes. I collect a lot of different things. I don't want to even collect a lot of different things, but sometimes when you do something special, you want to just have even just a little trinket, something that can take you back to that time when you bought that thing, right? You know, even me and wifey, when we go on trips, our favorite place is Ocean City, Maryland. So when we go, we collect a little bit of sand, some seashells, and even maybe just like a little refrigerator magnet to remind us of us going out there. Now, sometimes it's a little bit easier. You have your camera now, right? Or your cell phone. You can take pictures, as many pictures as you want, but being able to look at a shoe, look at the little trinket on the little refrigerator magnet, and then being able to think about, oh, remember when we went and we did this and did that. So this, to me, this is what shoes are all about, right? Nostalgia. That's kind of why I'm more into some of the retros than anything else. But you know, most of my shoes, there's very few shoes in my collection that don't have some sort of story, right? Even as funny as the Asics one was, the Asics wasn't even a shoe I bought, right? I bought a different shoe and DTLR sent the wrong one. So I can look at that shoe and remember, oh man, DTLR sent me the wrong shoe when I bought a Bo Jackson and they sent me an Asics. So most of the time, there's like I said, very few shoes in my collection that don't have some sort of story to them. And this is what makes these things important, man. And I hope you guys have some sort of nostalgia, and some of your shoes are very important in your collection, just like mine are. So, you know, that is the top 5 of my collection and why, to me, they are in my top 5. You know, tell me what you guys think. Name down in the comment section below. Let me know what are some of your favorite shoes in your collection, or even just your favorite shoe in your collection, and tell me why. Hope you guys are having an amazing start to your 2025, and I hope that we keep growing as a channel, as a sneaker family. So I will catch you guys on the next one. And remember, guys, like I always say, your sneakers are made to be worn, so wear them. Senior out.